But we can just go live on that shot. Yeah, tell them to go live. Hey, that's why they cut me. Perfect. Should be muted. Thanks for being with us on a Tuesday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. Once again, joining you from the Basement Podcast Studios of First Amendment Sports, my partner Luke, Vic from the bunker location. We're going to get things started tonight, being as we are the official Redskins podcast of Hogs Haven, joined by Aaron Lesher, head of social media at Hogs Haven. He does a bang-up job. Aaron, welcome to the show tonight, sir.
What's up, Ken? Thanks for having me back.
Of course. Come on. I mean, we have. I mean, this is the beginning. We're just scratching the surface.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
gonna get a
digging the
whole.
title, by the way. SVP of social media.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Can we get that going?
Did you just give yourself a promotion? It's official, though. I guess it's official now.
Maybe.
Um, so it's been. This is the time of year, regardless of the era we find ourselves in. May and June, it's always slow for football in the NFL for the most part, even though it's a year-round league. So it's naturally slow. With the absence of sports, the NFL, as you know, has done a good job of staying relevant and keeping us interested and charging full steam for a season. Thanks to folks in the NBA, I think we're probably just a little bit more optimistic that the NFL is going to be able to pull off, what they're saying, Aaron. But in the
Mhm.
meantime, there's still stuff happening, and you're pretty much our point guy when it comes to things that are trending for Hogs Haven. And so we picked a couple of topics that were kind of floating around on Hogs Haven Twitter over the last week or so, and I'm kind of excited about some of them. But I like where we're starting tonight. And why don't you give us a primer on the topic du jour?
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, this is the off season. This is the slow time of the year, so you've got all kinds of Mount Rushmore stuff you're trying to dig up and make relevant and talking points and stuff. So, one thing I did notice, I think I retweeted this, but the all-time sack leaders for the Redskins. Ryan Kerrigan's at, I believe, 91, and Dexter Manley's at or no, he's at 90. Dexter Manley's at 91, so he's got one plus sack to become all-time leader. I think it's a pretty good bet that he'll do that this year. But it's kind of crazy to think, like, you think of Dexter Manley, you think like amazing Pro Bowl, All Pro caliber player, one of the best Redskins players of all time. And then you've got Ryan Kerrigan, who's just been like a blue collar lunch pail guy who's just been good like year in and year out. But this is the year he's gonna probably take over. So pretty cool to think about. A guy that was drafted not too long ago. And then someone else, an interesting thing to think about as well is that I think number five or number four in the list is somewhere in the 40 sack range. And so it's not crazy to think that in 4 years from now, Chase Young could be, on that top five list by the time, his rookie contract is up. He's got to get 42 sacks in 4 years
Yeah,
to get
42
number five.
sacks to get to the top five to
Yeah.
pass Ken Harvey and butt up against Monty Coleman. I think the interesting story about Ryan Kerrigan is that he has almost never been hurt. He's almost never missed games. He finally did, and he's otherwise averaged pretty much close to 10 or 11 sacks a season, like kind of like
Mhm.
clockwork. I've always laughed at people who sleep on Ryan Kerrigan. He does tend to get like one awesome matchup per year. If you go back and look at his career, he'll light somebody up for 3 sacks out of nowhere.
That Eagles right tackle a couple years ago, he
Yes,
just destroyed him for like 4 sacks.
yes. I think
Halapalutai Vaitai or whatever.
I think he got like a guy on the Raiders number one day, and yeah, so he'll like sneak in there with a big day to get his numbers. But I think the interesting thing about Ryan Kerrigan is that there was kind of a Ryan Kerrigan decision this offseason with the Redskins, and I don't think we're the team. Okay, we've been the team that has made roster decisions based on marketing. There was a time when you weren't going to cut a guy who might be your sack leader, even if it was the right thing to do. I, it's not that Ryan Kerrigan doesn't have any gas in the tank left because he does. The people that thought we could trade him for something, I just never saw it. I don't know why someone's trading for a guy in his position. And with our intention, which we actually did, to draft Chase Young, you really give Ryan Kerrigan a chance to be fresh whenever they put him in, and you give Chase Young a chance to work with a pro. And so I think all of the things that went into keeping Ryan Kerrigan around, not to mention we have the money, to me I thought were based in relatively logical reason and logical rationale. Um, he could have already had the sack record had he not gotten hurt and had they not shut him down. And if he had already had the sack record, I wonder if he would have been gone. I think there was a conversation behind the scenes that was like, "Hey, what do you want? Do you want to be here? Do you want to finish out here? Do you want to go somewhere else? Maybe we can get a fifth or a sixth or a seventh round pick for you. I don't know what it would have been, but the fact that he's
Hope it's
one
better than the
shy,
seventh. Jeez.
yeah. I mean, I don't know why anyone would have given up a lot, for Ryan Kerrigan, because if we really didn't want him, they could have had him for whatever they wanted to pay him. So I think the story of Ryan Kerrigan, Redskins fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer for in terms of banners, but we've had players that we've respected and enjoyed watching. Dexter Manley is absolutely one of them. Some people don't want to see his name come off the number one, but I can't think of a guy who hasn't earned it more than Ryan Kerrigan because he has done it so consistently in his career.
Yeah, I mean he's like the most likable guy, and it's unfortunate he's been on mostly crappy teams his entire career. But I think this offseason, I think I heard the Colts and the Ravens had tried to trade for him. It was definitely like a fifth round pick, or maybe even higher, like a fourth round pick or something. But I mean, why not? You've got a quality starter at the very least in Kerrigan, and then you add Chase Young, number 2 overall pick. You've got Montez Sweat coming back. You've got Ryan Anderson and a bunch of other guys. And you've seen when the best D lines in the league year after year, they have this rotation where it's like 7 guys, combination between like the ends and the tackles, and they can just rotate through and keep them fresh. And God forbid someone goes down, that's projected to maybe start. I would probably start Kerrigan if you're playing base over like Sweat anyway, and just get Sweat in as like the third D end at least to start the year. So yeah, why not keep him? And then he's gonna retire as a Redskin all-time sack leader at least for now. Maybe Chase Young will be that one day, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I think it was the right move to just hold on to him. Hopefully, we can extend his contract and keep him a relatively fair price. But you can't ask for more, especially from a team that's been pretty bad for most of his career.
Yep. If I'm Ryan Kerrigan, I'm super excited about the prospect of going into a stadium's Ring of Honor, which is where he'll end up at this pace. Aaron, I want to
Definitely.
make sure on the board tonight is one Kevin Ewald. Good evening, sir. Good to have you. Also, shout out to all the other guys. James, good to see you back. Feeling better. I know it's been a rough couple weeks fighting the Rona. Good to see you back in good spirits and back to work. Actually, he's back to work. Greg, AGH, all you guys. But Aaron, Kevin Ewald, he was in your seat before he was our first Twitter guy. So you're filling some pretty big shoes there. I know, and I'm sure he's in many days he's much happier watching you have to deal with some of the stuff you have to deal with. Fielding,
It's an honor, Kevin.
yeah, it is. It is. It's Kevin Ewald. No, but I appreciate Kevin hanging out with us tonight. I know he wouldn't have missed this next tweet, especially given everything that's going on in the news, and finding ways to intersect the sports world with what's happening in people's lives. We spent a ton of time over the last couple of weeks, making sure people understand that we've we talk about this situation head on. But I love this protester, and we don't have to say those. We can read them right off the screen. But it's to me like that's quintessential Washington. Always finding a way to marry the daily experience of living in this city with being a Redskins fan. Now that goes back to when, sorry, Aaron, before you got to watch Super Bowls, in the early '80s and even into the late '80s and early '90s. Being a Redskins fan was an identity. That was your identity, being in Washington, and the players and hating the Cowboys and the rivalry and the NFC East, and it all mattered. It matters still the same to people like us, but on the streets of Washington, it was like it was just you couldn't detangle it. It was so intertwined. And so here we got a guy who's embodying that. So I thought that was a good pull by you, to make sure that I don't know. It's a pretty serious time that we live in, and that he's still getting his message across, and he's doing it in a way that's also it says where he's from, which I think is just the best.
Yeah, no, that's very well said, Ken. Yeah, I saw this on Instagram, I believe, and I had to pull it and put it on Hogs Haven. I mean, that's like a slam dunk right there. You can't get especially the current climate. That's something everybody can get behind. That's what the tweet said. So yeah, I think it's a lot of people were liking it and retweeting it. So happy to put that out there.
And we don't ever want to make light of stuff, but it's just again, I just can't get past the I don't know. That makes me smile when I see that, and for like 20 different reasons all at once, but not the least of which is, this guy found a way to speak to people in a kind of a I don't know, in a very Washington way. So I love it, and kind of I know we won't go to the next tweet just quite yet because I think there's like a natural segue between this tweet and kind of what's been going on. I know you and I we follow the numbers. We see kind of what's trending for Hogs Haven, how we're picking up followers. And again, this is a slow time of year. We don't tend to experience our highest growth. I don't think June's been our highest growth on social media for years now. But you had an interesting comment about, uh, you know, what did happen to our followers in so far in the last like 20, 25 to 20, 28 days.
Yeah, so basically, I looked at the numbers, and June is typically our slowest month in terms of follower growth and all that kind of stuff. And this year, we've actually been killing it in terms of beating last year's numbers. I think like last month we gained like 600 something followers. The month before that, 500, and the month before that, three or 400, which is a big improvement over last year, which is awesome. It means more people are following the account and listening to our stuff and reading it and everything like that. And for June of this year, we actually are losing about 80 followers, at least month to date. Last year, June, we gained like 100 followers. So basically, I looked back and tried to figure out what was going on.
Yeah,
And
what'd you do?
fortunately or unfortunately, well, Twitter's got this great analytics panel, but um, an okay analytics panel. But I don't know if you saw the Jeff Bezos tweet or Instagram post or whatever from like a week ago or something. But he basically tweeted out a couple screenshots of emails from unhappy customers that were unhappy that he was supporting Black Lives Matter and that kind of thing. And he said that this is the kind of customer I'm happy to lose. So it turns out, I think a lot of people unfollowed us when we, retweeted some stuff in support of that, and making sure people knew where we stand. So, I mean, it's definitely not a topic you want to laugh about. Obviously, it's serious, but it is funny and in some ways good that those people aren't following us anymore. And that's the reason that they decided to unfollow. So anyway, good riddance. But it appears that's the reason that those folks didn't want to read our tweets anymore.
I tell you what, they're missing out. They're missing out. But like you said, never never upset about losing a customer who's got hate in his heart. In that regard, anyways. Um, but I'll tell you what,
Definitely.
who we don't have hate in our heart for. Now I've taken a lot of heat for my Steven Sims. I don't know whether I've omitted saying him or whether I've kind of forgotten him or been accused of forgetting him, or maybe just because people think I'm too much of a Trey Quinn guy. But Steven Sims has been working out with David Robinson, and you had this little hot take the other day.
Yeah, well, this is not an article that I wrote, but it definitely was a hot topic. And Ken, I think if you're a Trey Quinn guy, you're going to be disappointed because I don't think he's making the team this year. But so this was a post that got a bunch of debate. I mean, it's kind of a little clickbaity title, but can Steven Sims be the next Tyreek Hill? Personally, I think Tyreek Hill is a freak of nature in terms of just his raw speed. There's no one faster in the NFL, and he just moves at a different speed than anybody else in the field. Especially comparing it with Steven Sims, who ran a 4.5, and he's not a big guy, and Tyreek Hill is in the 4.2s. That's obviously a big difference. But the thing that I do think is an interesting comparison, and this idea came from the actual guy, the wide receiver coach that's coaching Sims, Tyreek Hill, and Antonio Brown in the offseason. So he's worked with all three. And he actually said he sees a lot of comparisons to their game because Sims moves a lot faster than his 40 time would suggest, especially in pads. And especially his short area quickness is elite. Those were things that he wanted to compare to those two players who are, obviously like terrific players. And if AB comes back this season, he'll be, again, one of the best in his position, has been for the past like 7-8 years. The thing that stood out to me though, which I kind of try and focus on whenever I'm doing my armchair scouting and stuff, is the intangibles. And the wide receiver coach, and honestly, I don't know if it's talked about in this article, but the wide receiver coach was basically saying Steven Sims is like dialed in terms of what he's doing to prepare in the offseason. He's got a masseuse that travels with him. He's got his own personal trainer that works with the skills guy that basically says, hey, if he can get stronger or faster in this area, this is going to help him in his game. And then they talk and do all that kind of stuff. He's got a chef for meal prepping. So he's doing everything, all the right stuff, working on his body and trying to get better in the off season. And that's the thing that you see with the players that really break out, especially like the, players that are drafted in the middle rounds or later rounds or even undrafted like Sims. How they really take it to the next level is they dial it in the off season and they're really attacking it. So that makes me excited. I know a bunch of people are high on him for this year as a breakout candidate. So I'm hoping he does.
So I have enjoyed watching Trey Quinn. I am prepared to be disappointed if he doesn't make the team.
All two plays.
I know, I know.
Yeah.
You know what? So he's being paid nothing. My argument for him isn't really beyond like what does he cost to keep if he's healthy. He's only ever led the world in receiving when he's been healthy and at the last level. But Steven Sims has earned the right to be on the field making plays for the Redskins. He was a bright spot for our offense and for fans of the Redskins last year. So if he can take another step and be a part of Scott Turner's offense, and he's getting the right tutelage with a guy like David Robinson and working out with the Tyreek Hills of the world, that's great. And again, he showed what he can do in the NFL on Sunday multiple times when the ball was put in his hands multiple different ways. So obviously, I was wrong when I first, like a couple months ago, I put Trey Quinn in at the slot ahead of Steven Sims, and that was a mistake. I
I was
was
sleeping on him too,
mistaken.
man. I was sleeping on him too. I was like, this guy from Kansas, like he's got the same name as like two other guys on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the 6'5" guy, but I was wrong. So, yeah, that's what plays in the NFL these days, like the speed guys.
And Liberty,
So
Liberty.
I'm pumped for him.
He's going to be that. That's We'll be saying Liberty Bibberty, I believe, before this season is through. I think so. I think he's got a
You don't
chance.
like AGG?
I like Liberty
Everyone's
Bibberty.
calling him AGG. Well, yeah, you can be the one
I'll
the
be the
one
Liberty
man
Bibberty
army.
guy,
Of, yeah, yeah.
or cotton
That'll be you.
candy.
That'll be
I'll,
your thing. That'll be your wheelhouse. Just
hashtag
this commercial that no one remembers.
Liberty Bibberty. That's where I live, Aaron.
Yeah,
Like
I get them too. I get them too.
the terrible TV that's on way too much on off channels while everyone else is binging commercialist TV. I'm still banging out South Park and Friends at like 2 in the morning, and getting a healthy dose of Liberty Bibberty. So. Well, listen, man. I appreciate all that you do. I know the Hogs Haven folks appreciate all that you do, and keep it up. I hope that you'll continue to come and talk to us about the trending topics on Redskins social media for the rest of the summer. There's going to be plenty to talk about.
Will do, man. I'm trying to keep it interesting and trying to find topics for debate each week so we can keep having these little chats every week.
Awesome, man. Thanks, Aaron, and we will talk soon. Great job, and I don't know, whatever you blended earlier, enjoy that.
Some towels, the towels in the washing machine. That's what's getting fun.
All right, dude. We'll talk.
All right, Ken. Take care.
And I want to say thanks to Scott Jennings, also assistant managing. He's basically co-managing editor of Hogs Haven for all intents and purposes. He does an amazing job. Also, Scott and Aaron and a bunch of other guys and gals, for that matter, at SB Nation that throughout this whole last 2-3 months have been rock stars. So we appreciate all the efforts made by folks like them, and we look forward to keeping Aaron in the conversation because Twitter is where a lot of our stuff comes from on the Redskins stuff, and Hogs Haven Twitter is thanks to Kevin Ewald and Aaron Lesher. The Hogs Haven Twitter is doing just great, and it is my pleasure to bring in my compadres, my normal Tuesday compadres. There he is, Kevin Ricka. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, man, I've been sitting here on mute, and I never gave the signal. That was a great conversation. I just want to say this. Steven Sims is a bad dude, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
And how about the golden child? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Also, it's very good to see Kevin Ewald on there. Shout out, Kevin Ewald. James Rainey, welcome back, my man. Awesome to see you doing well and feeling healthy. Most importantly tonight, it's our boy's 44th birthday, Ken Marangolo. Dang, dude, it's the Rigo year.
It's the Rigo year.
I'm doing it for half a year. There he is, brother. There he is.
I appreciate it, man.
Happy birthday, homeboy.
Thank you very, very much. I made it. It is the diesel year. I'm joining you for, I'm catching up, as they say. You got there first.
We're Rigo's Rangers now, brother.
We
Just
are
like the hat
Rigo's
said.
Rangers.
5-star.
I'll tell you what, we got another fellow Ranger on the line with us who's joining us now from the official lair. What's up, Tim Strachan?
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ken.
Appreciate it,
I
man.
didn't bring bearing gifts, but as a family, we were just sitting around making cake in a cup. Did you know that existed?
Mm-hmm.
Cake in a cup, singing and dancing to Magic in the Hamptons, dude. We were partying for you right here.
Oh, I know, and special thanks to Aaron and Leslie for helping out with everything going on there on the set on both of your guys' side, and I do appreciate it. I appreciate the folks on the board, with the happy birthday wishes. It's a cool day when the birthday falls on a Tuesday. It's weird that we're not together, and I want to make sure everyone understands Kevin and T obviously don't follow up anybody on this show. But I wanted to finish strong with the three of us, and I do like having Aaron add some Redskins stuff. When we all get back together, it'll be a little bit cooler because Kevin, T, and I will be back at the poker table, and Aaron will be fighting to get a word in edgewise. But it is Tuesday night. A birthday Tuesday is a fun Tuesday. No matter whose birthday it is, when it's someone's birthday on Tuesday, that means it's everyone's birthday on Tuesday. So I hope everyone lives it up and has a great night. Thank God it is Tuesday, and thank God we are here together to have a little bit of a good old time. T and Kevin, we had a good Redskins conversation, and I will segue out. You guys are free to chime in on anything we spoke about, and I'll kick one extra thing off because it's been on my mind all day. And it's 'cause someone asked me your best Redskins Super Bowl moment. Now it's just a total random question. I didn't give Luke that before the show because I was just kind of noodling it. There's a lot of them. If you only had to name one Redskins Super Bowl moment, and
You
you
wanna
all
go,
Rigo
Jay?
fourth.
what's that? T.
Rigo fourth down.
It's hard to beat Rigo 4th and 1. It's hard to beat that.
Right. You can't. I think you'd take it off the table.
I think we should take it off the table. I had that, because the diesel year, we're all in our diesel year now, and I had that meme sent to me by countless people today, and I do appreciate getting it. Him shaking off McNeil from shimmying him off his right hip, and the track star from Kansas making his way down the left sideline for, the game sealer. I think there's some others that are up there. And so if we were to take the Rigo 4th and 1 off the table, Kevin, do you have one that comes right to mind that you could add in there?
Yeah, instantly. Super Bowl 22. Our offense is on the field. We've demolished the Broncos. The announcer says, and the most valuable player of Super Bowl 22, Washington Redskins quarterback, Doug Williams. The first black man to start a Super Bowl, the first black man to be an MVP of the Super Bowl. But we all know that inside that locker room on that field, sometimes in certain situations, not all, but football transcends race. You saw the Hogs attack Doug Williams. I think he slapped fives with Timmy Smith, and 10 grown men on that field attacked Doug Williams. They were so happy. It's one of those lump in your throat moments, and it was our team doing it. It was the Hogs and then the receiving corps making it happen. And Doug Williams stood there, such a proud man, but no ego whatsoever. He just slapped fives and nodded his head. And that to me was the cherry on top of one of the greatest football games that I've ever witnessed and never had to worry about after the first quarter for one more second.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. The guy also said in the first quarter, I believe the statement was said that no one ever came back from 10 down in the Super Bowl to win, or down 10-0 or whatever that was, and it was 35-10, like a half an hour later.
9 for 11, 260 yards, and 4 touchdown passes later. I mean, I think Ricky Sanders had 9 for 193 and 2. Didn't win an MVP. Timmy Smith, the first guy to ever rush for 200 yards in the Super Bowl, didn't win the MVP. I mean, what a day that was. I remember it like it was yesterday.
I would have a hard time competing with that. I like to remember Art Monk's touchdown catch against the Buffalo Bills, because at the time, like in the moment, it didn't seem like we had any chance of losing that game, and I don't believe that we did. But if you go back and rewatch that game and watch what Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly and really what the Bills were up to coming out of halftime, that touchdown was actually pretty huge. And it was basically the onset or the dawn of and spurred on a lot of instant replay stuff. I mean, it was probably a bigger moment, in hindsight than it was in real time, because the score, we ended up winning, and we were kind of going away. But I always think back to Art Monk making that play, and
that was the image in my head too, Ken. I agree with you absolutely. And just what Art Monk meant to us as Redskins fans growing up and watching his career and everything, and him, that's an image that definitely is ingrained in my mind.
Was it Kurt Gouveia who intercepted a ball in that game as well? Do I have that right?
I believe so.
Now, I had a dream 2 nights before the game that Kurt Gouveia was going to intercept the ball and score a touchdown. And I told everyone about this dream. And he's
talking about dreams, Kevin.
I know.
Watch out.
It's his birthday. Hey, you watch out. He's going to blow those candles out. Next thing you know, you could be anywhere wearing anything, brother.
You never heard my I had a Kurt Gouveia dream speech? It's a really amazing speech. Very uplifting and inspiring.
You sure it wasn't Minuski? It wasn't Minuski. It was Govea.
I think I'm not sure of anything anymore. But I have a different. I had a Greg Minuski dream speech lined up as well, but I thought it'd be fun to maybe kick around a few random topics in the basement tonight. And Luke was kind enough to queue up a few on the screen, and these are classic basement lightning round questions. So, T, I'm gonna let you off the hook and let Kevin lead off on the first question. All right, what do we got first here? The character from a show you're currently watching. Lightning round. Oh, T, I didn't realize you had props. Lightning round.
Yeah, it's from the Strachan art and graphics department.
It's pretty amazing, actually.
Lightning round.
Lightning round.
Character from a show you're currently watching that you would want to call the next Redskins game in the booth.
Woo.
We're all watching shows. That's kind of the impetus for the question. And I feel like we're all watching shows from pretty much every era of TV, including people on the board. So, you guys, if you're watching shows, ring in on this one.
I'm gonna go out there and just finished up Ozark within the month here. I'm gonna go out there and say, with her straight honesty, her forked tongue, and her wit, I'd like to watch Ruth Langmore call a Redskins game next year. Got to be careful what I wish for, because if the Redskins throw a turd out there, she's gonna call a turd a turd. She ain't gonna hide from it. But I love her character. Her old school '90s music is spot on, and I'd love to hear Ruth Langmore speak the truth from the booth.
I thought you were going to go on Jason Bateman style, and maybe he could channel Cotton from. Was his name Cotton in Dodgeball, or was that Lumber's name?
Yeah,
it was Cotton, right?
Cotton.
All right, T. Who do you got?
I'm not much of a series guy. The last series that Kevin, you're going to have to help me for a second because I'm blanking on the last name of the character, but in Patriot, John.
Yeah.
John. Because every play would just be pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I've been ODing on South Park lately. So if Randy Marsh could get in the booth and call Redskins game, I think it might be the most entertaining thing I could imagine. I knew Greg Martin was going to say Al Bundy because I got the update. His wedding was originally scheduled for this past week, and he's kind of been. I feel like we've been talking about this guy's wedding for like a year now because we have, and it's been getting pushed and pushed. But he also had a commitment to finish Married with Children, the entire series, before he got married, and he succeeded on that goal for his original wedding date. So I applaud that effort. I think there was some tough seasons in there to muscle through, but Al Bundy is a pretty solid call. So if you're gonna,
that would be great.
I think he would.
Yeah. That would be a great one to listen to. Absolutely.
Applegate tends to get you by some of the doldrums of the season.
She's great. Veronica Silverstone. She has experience in Anchorman. I mean, she was a co-anchor in the San Diego Evening News. She could crush it. All right,
Lakeman.
John
Lakeman.
Lakeman. There you go.
John Lakeman.
All right, where are we going here? Yep. No, I don't want any trouble here. I don't want any trouble. This is a serious question. Pirate or ninja? Now, both of these, there's pros and cons here, and I encourage people to blurt out answers, but I don't know that you could be wrong, but I know you can be right. Who wants to go first?
Listen, I'll go first as long as this is a non-sexual conversation.
It is.
Got it.
Always. T always twists it, but
I think it's a no-brainer. The ninjas are very sneaky. Pirates are thieves and make their booty by injuring other ships. But pirates have way more fun. Let's call it like we see it. Ninjas, they're Japanese. They're so driven. They lead this solitary lifestyle. They're very, very sneaky, and it doesn't seem like they get out after work and like hit happy hour, do some fun stuff. I want to go pirate. Just drink rum on the open seas. I want to be a swashbuckler, Ken.
You got the body for it.
Damn right I do.
The pillowy pirate shirt from Seinfeld, that would look great on you. He wants to be a pirate. T, what do you got?
No, dude, I'm ninja all the way. Come on, Bruce Lee recently? Are you
Water.
kidding me? Why would you want to be anywhere near what Bruce Lee could do? Plus, I was a big fan of Bloodsport, all those martial arts movies and all that. Take ninja, dude. I'd kick your ass any day. And then I'd do whatever I want.
You ain't hanging out with nobody.
How do you know ninjas don't have fun? They're sneaky.
Oh, yeah.
They're sneaky fun.
No, but I do know pirates do.
Sneaky fun.
All right.
I like to do my closed doors. I like to
believe pirates are like I feel like it's all for show, but at night I think there's just an emptiness that they have to deal with that a ninja doesn't have because it's full of honor and code. And I think that there's a secret club where they absolutely break it down ninja style. And
no grog, no rum, no loose women at the ports. All right, that's the ninja side. My fault.
All right. Well, Luke says pirate also, so pirate wins. Pirate wins the debate. As far as who has a gun or not, a ninja doesn't need a gun, Greg. Just so we're clear. All right. What's next?
Shiver me timbers.
All right. So I like this. This is a little bit more philosophical. So hero or sidekick? I think some people see it as an easy. What's that?
It's not philosophical. You're an idiot. You want to be a hero.
I think there's some serious philosophy here. I'll let you guys go first before I. When I saw this question,
sure.
I had some thoughts about it. So T, you lead us off. You seem sure right away.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to be the hero? Why wouldn't you want to be the hero? Why would you be the guy that's not the hero?
Kevin?
I didn't sit in my backyard when I was 10 years old counting down 5, 4, 3, 2. And Ricka passes it to someone else to make the game-winning shot. Yay! No one wants to be Scottie Pippen, even though he's amazing, if you can be Michael Jordan. And you're talking to a couple quarterbacks here, Ken, where I'm not saying we were the heroes, but I want to be able to be the guy that can look the team in the eye after making the play to win or trying to make the play to win and losing and having to look at that team and say, you guys know I lay it all out there and have that team concept take over. Hero all day, all day.
Now, I was thinking about this more from a standpoint of like superhero comic book type stuff. I wasn't thinking about it necessarily from the athlete standpoint. And the first thought I had was you can be a hero without a sidekick, but you can't have a sidekick without a hero. And so to me, this if you pick going down the sidekick track, it's more of a team track. Where you can be the hero, but the hero doesn't necessarily have a sidekick. But if you're the sidekick, that means automatically that there's a hero involved, and that then you're on a team. So that doesn't necessarily sway me. I think everyone still wants to be the hero, but I like the idea that one of those answers implies you're part of a team, and the other answer is potentially solo mission style. In the case that you guys saw it as. You were thinking about it in terms of sports. Obviously, you were thinking about it in terms of team generically. But I was thinking about it more in terms of a man with a cape. He might not have a Robin. But if you have a Robin, that means there's a man with a cape standing next to him. And then all of a sudden, now you got something. T,
the level of philosophy.
I didn't look into it that deeply. Instead, I'd rather be the guy that goes and kicks ass than the guy told to go get my cape for me so I can go kick ass.
Sidekicks don't get capes. That's not the sidekick's job. The sidekick also kicks ass. Scottie Pippen was pretty great. I'm taking it back to team.
But if Michael Jordan said,
99.9% of the world wants to be Scottie Pippen. I'm just saying you'd rather be Jordan than Pippen. That's all. And if you want to get super philosophical, we're talking about a delicious sandwich or a blow to the ribs here. I mean, we could do this all day.
Yeah, we could. We sure could. What do we have next? Now this one was all right. So, would you rather tailgate in the parking lot with your buddies and then listen to the game on the radio? And we're not talking about Redskins versus the Buccaneers when both teams are winless. We're talking about legit Redskin NFL Sunday. Or no tailgating with your buddies. You're at home and you're watching the game on a TV, but it's a TV from 1980. It's round. The glass pokes out. There's maybe some graininess. It's standard definition at best. It's color, but it's no great shakes. Which way you going?
Is there berries wood carved on the side paneling of this television set?
Potentially.
Because and the second question is, how old am I in 1980?
I mean, you're old enough to either go to a parking lot and drink your face off for 3 hours, or stay at home and watch a grainy version of a Redskins game on TV on a terrible TV.
If I was born in 1960, I'm at the tailgate all day long.
Yep.
But if I'm born in 1950, do you know what the couch designs were like in 1980? They had amazing comfort levels of all different kinds of shapes. And if you celebrate or commiserate, it's always better to be at home than in Landover from past experience. It's always better to be a couple steps away than I lost my buddies and I can't flag down a cab and I'm just going to sleep in the woods and it smells like pee.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's hard to argue with that.
Look, I'm a creature of habit. I actually am pretty much still wearing the same thing that I wore in 1980, only it's an Under Armour instead of like Champions or Lacoste. And I would now and watch TV, drink my own beer, hang out, watch other games before and after.
All right. That's
I'm a
fair.
homebody.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'll be at the tailgate, listen to it on the radio if I had to make that choice. But
same haircut. Same haircut.
No doubt about that. Came out in '75, looking fresh.
Sewing tigers on your shirts and alligators. All right. Well, let's see. I got another one for you guys. We're about to hit summertime. I was trying to think of some summer themed stuff, so I figured I'd hit you guys with. We all see the neighborhood, kids, everyone. Hopefully, they're getting excited about a summer that I hope they get to enjoy. We'll see what happens as we move from here, but I thought you could take me back, and kids don't do it the same way we did it. Across a variety of topics and subjects. You're 12 years old, no school. You don't have practice or anything going on. You're waking up, and what's your day like? What's your routine? What's your summertime routine as a seventh grader? You're getting up and you're getting after it. What's the plan? T? This is what you actually did when you were 12.
Yeah. Usually it started off with a hard run to swim team practice about 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
Swim team practice, a hard run back, breakfast, maybe a little bit of Price is Right. And then if it wasn't straight to the pool, it was probably over to like Dave Crocker's house because his basement had the pool table, the ping pong table, access to tapes like George Carlin Stand Up Raw, stuff like that. They had throwing stars, which was always pretty cool. Then we'd end up at the pool somewhere, maybe ride your bikes to 7-Eleven or Continental before you had to go home for dinner at some point, and then back for late night swimming at the pool. And that was a very typical day when I was 12.
Kevin?
Man, I mean, I say I would wake up nowhere near 6:30. That wasn't even remotely on my radar. But when I woke up, it certainly was before 11. Strap on my Jordans, grab my Sony Walkman with my mixtape ready to rock and roll, head out the door, hop on my Diamondback, start knocking on my boys' doors to ask if they can come out and play. Get a little crew assembled. We usually hit the basketball court, knock down some hose water from Mrs. Gringer's backyard, hit back up a little bit, little blackberry, little honeysuckle, playing our music out of a 2-tape disc boombox on the basketball court, head into someone's house for popsicles, maybe a little RBI baseball Tecmo Bowl, get in the basement and chill out, maybe put on a little movie, hang out, wait till it gets dark, little kick the can, Ali Ali Oxenfree. We're doing this whole thing, lightning bugs, and then just blaring, little Guns N' Roses comes to mind. You're sitting there thinking it was Milli Vanilli time. The Fresh Prince. We had all kinds of business. George Michael. I mean, there was some awesome things to do. But I know this: we could survive outside all day long with hose water, vine tomatoes, a couple blackberries and honeysuckle off the bush, and popsicles from the neighborhood.
Man, I ate so
Don't
many.
sleep on.
Go ahead, T.
Don't sleep on the neighborhood or the big family gathering capture the flag game. I think that's a game that has completely been lost on this young generation.
Oh no! That's my kid's number one.
Yeah, they do play that in our neighborhood. Academy. Yeah, thankfully
it's living strong at the Woods.
We were, to echo what you said, Kevin. We were outside from the moment you finished tying your shoes until the last second you were due back for dinner. We had every once in a while we had to check in. We had to find our way to someone's house and call home and say, hey, we're still alive. We played capture the flag all day in the woods. In the woods all day. I spent days just in the woods, just like in the woods, eating honeysuckle, eating blackberries, just like you said, playing the George Michael tapes, playing Def Leppard tapes, and
New Edition,
NXS, U2, all that stuff, and the other thing was, we played I think we played tackle football every single day from like the 5th grade through when I reported for sports in high school, probably up to the last day until I had tryouts in August at McNamara. We played tackle football every single day, but in between tackle football, that was 2 or 3 hours a day. There was still butt on the pole horse. The loser has to stand hugging the pole, and everyone got to beat him with the basketball as hard as they could. We'd tape up an old soccer ball and tape up a wiffle ball bat and pitch it at and you play like a modified version of wiffle ball against the house, with every layer of the house was a different hit. We made up games. The only game we probably played by the rules was when we played basketball or football. There wasn't a single other game where there wasn't some modified rule, in the neighborhood, because we played it on asphalt, or we played it in a cul-de-sac, or we played it in a field somewhere, that we had to walk through the woods to get to. I mean,
I remember playing 33 almost in session, which is essentially mall ball, but with a basketball. Mm-hmm. It was you versus everybody else. You played it on a playground in your backyard.
Man, I remember being on a concrete blacktop surface playing pickup hoops, taking it to the hole with reckless abandon, and it turned into a football game. Hey, if it was the All-Star game was on a Tuesday night, you were playing baseball that week. Yep. If the next week the Redskins signed Wilbur Marshall, then we were playing football that week. Whatever sport we could possibly think of to get out there. Hey, a ton of kickball. We all remember that. That would last all day long. Being outside and this getting into some business with the kids in the neighborhood, I'm sure there's pockets of it, but you can go to any given neighborhood in the county and find that back then. I don't see a ton of it. I don't see guys putting quarters in the slots playing hoops under the lights until 2 a.m. and allowed to be there because you were playing hoops under the lights. And that's what I miss. Driving by Fleming Park, seeing the lights on, knowing you had to go grab your sneakers to get down there as fast as you possibly could to have a chance of getting a game.
Yep.
I loved it.
Well, we are a week away from the official start to the summer, the longest day of the year. We're about a week away from that, Kev, right? June 21st.
Don't I know it, my man? That's not only is it Father's Day this year, but that's my anniversary.
I know
the longest day of the year, and it's not for me. I'm winning on that deal. But there's someone that lives underneath this roof that I'm certain feels the length of the day as the years pass, especially on the 21st.
I know she does. Hey, what?
I'm supposed to be doing
the self-deprecating stuff
over here. I don't need you jumping in with your birthday suit on, landing on top of me. It's all disgusting, sweaty, and gross, man.
He's just great.
Well, I want to thank all the guys on the board for making it a fun night. Appreciate people chiming in to all the different things we had to say tonight. And I definitely want to say thanks to Aaron Lesher for joining us at the top of the show. Guys, Tuesdays are the best day of the week, and I can't imagine a better way to spend this particular one than with you guys. I can't wait to have you here in person, and I don't think we're that far away. No major announcements, obviously, but we're gonna get there soon, and we'll do the right thing. But that'll be a cool Tuesday night when that thing happens for the first time. So, but I wanted to just again appreciate you guys for being here tonight. Tim Strachan, thank you, sir.
Just wanted to say, man, thanks for having me on. It's good to see you guys. We're getting a little bit more normal. Ken, you're still weird, Ace, but I did want to say happy birthday, buddy. Good job.
I love it. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Kevin Ricka. Oh, whoa, there's a birthday release, a balloon release. Are there doves?
We do it all Strachan art, design, and graphics.
Are you going to release the doves?
They all have your cell phone number on it.
Kevin Ricka, appreciate you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Hey, since day one, we're on year 5 now. For talking about years and ages. It's been a blast all the way through. To our guys on the board, appreciate you. Love seeing the inside of the Strachan house because I haven't seen it in 3 months or so. And love all that. Ken Marangolo, happy Rigo birthday, number 44. Welcome to Rigo's Rangers. Hey, it's a good time out here, brother. We ain't doing nothing different. Happy birthday, my man. Thanks for everything.
Thank you, guys. I want to say thank you to Luke David and Vic Maddox for helping us in the director's chair and producing from the fortified bunker on the Eastern Shore. We appreciate you guys. Until next Tuesday night, I am Ken Marangolo. Thank God it's Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.